Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel Tarot Z. I'm Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages with the cards that come out in today's reading for you. Thank you so much for joining and for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out and what messages come through with the cards that do come out in this reading today. So the first card that we have is the Five of Swords. It's in the reverse, but we have some air sign energy with this. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or even Aquarius. We've got the Nine of Swords. And we have the Star card. And we have more Aquarius energy with this. But at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles show up here at the bottom of the deck. This does feel like an energy of your work, your finances, your career, having a lot of your attention and focus right now. I do feel like with this showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of experiencing opportunity in that field. And also when it comes to being able to have and see a lot of your work paying off in a way that's successful. And I do feel like also opportunity for being able to grow financially, especially. I do feel like with this Nine of Pentacles showing up over here, this feels like an energy of really pouring a lot of your focus and energy into yourself and what matters when it comes to something that really means something to you, as far as something you're pursuing. I do feel like with this Nine of Pentacles, this feels like successful energy on an individual level, but also self-care and being able to gain a lot out of that. I do feel like though the Five of Swords showing up in the reverse, this feels like an energy of someone who's in a space where they are starting to regret something from the past, especially when it comes to any way that they may have mishandled a situation. And with this Five of Swords showing up in the reverse, this feels like an energy of being remorseful. And do you feel like there's a desire to be able to kind of clear the air and to be able to fix something between yourself and them, or even when it comes to looking back at the way that they acted, wanting to be able to kind of show up in a way that kind of makes up for that? Do you feel like though this Nine of Swords, this does feel like an energy of being in a space where when it comes to a connection, when it comes to somebody, they may be kind of stressing you out. So do you feel like that maybe why you may be directing your energy more so towards yourself, your career, your finances, and also being able to find a lot more enjoyment in that area? And do you feel like with this Nine of Swords showing up over here, this feels like an energy of kind of feeling a bit stressed out in a situation? I do feel like also with this Nine of Swords, it feels like a lot of overthinking, and it does feel like it is also a sense of overthinking when it comes to that thinking kind of turning into more negative thoughts rather than the positive thoughts. So I do feel like with this Nine of Swords showing up over here, it feels like an energy of this connection with somebody kind of stressing you out, and I do feel like kind of wanting to be able to take some time out from it also. With the Star card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of having a lot of hope for a connection. I do feel like when it comes to somebody that you're dealing with, especially with this Five of Swords, this does feel like an energy of someone who's in a space where they want to make amends, they want to work something out. Do you feel like with the Star card, they're quite hopeful for that, and they're even quite hopeful when it comes to this connection? I do feel like they have a desire to be able to work things out. So I'm going to clarify these cards. So we have the Two of Swords. And we have the Hanged Man. There's some Pisces energy with this. So you could be dealing with a Pisces as well. And we have the Page of Swords. It's in the reverse. But at the bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers card, and we have some Gemini energy with this. So with the Lovers card jump over here, this does feel like an energy of feeling like you're in the right connection. I do feel like also when it comes to being able to recognize a connection with somebody, it does feel like recognizing a deep connection between the two of you. I do feel like with the Lovers card jump over here, this does feel like an energy of having a connection that does feel like it has a lot of, it's a very passionate connection, but also feel like it is also one that does feel like it's very deep, it's very meaningful. And with the Lovers card up over here, this also feels like an energy of recognizing somebody as your person. I do feel like with the Lovers card, this does feel like an energy of needing to make a decision surrounding this connection, which is why it can feel like being at a crossroads. And with this Five of Swords shown up over here, I do feel like somebody kind of being in a space where they want to be able to kind of make it, be able to kind of take accountability, and it is putting them in a position where I do feel like somebody may even be extending an apology or wanting some forgiveness. I do feel like with this Two of Swords showing up over here though, when it comes to the way this person is perceiving you or the way they feel in this connection, they may be actually sensing a sense of distance. And I do feel like that may be because of a sense of them feeling a sense of a wall between the two of you coming up. And I do feel like with this Two of Swords, there may be a need for a conversation. I feel like this person kind of wanting to be able to push for a conversation surrounding being able to make something work or make something right between the two of you, where I do feel like with this Five of Swords in the reverse, this feels like an energy of them being in a space where when it comes to looking at a situation, I do feel like they are remorseful. It feels like them taking accountability and seeing their faults. But with the Hangman showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being in a space where you are already reflecting on a situation. I do feel like with the Hangman, this does feel like a little bit of a sense of being in a bit of an indecisive energy about things, being a little bit conflicted. And so I do feel like that kind of delays things. But this does feel like an energy of being able to take your time when it comes to being able to actually look into a situation and go over it and being able to get to a good place as far as your perspective on things. I do feel like with the Page of Swords showing up in the reverse, this feels like an energy of somebody who, I do feel like they have a lot that they want to say, but it's like they're holding themselves back. And I do feel like with the Star card showing up over here, this feels like hopeful energy. And also, I do feel like there is a desire for being able to actually have what is like a reconciliation with you in the future. I do feel like with the Star card showing up over here, this person does miss you. I do feel like this person's also in a space where they think about you a lot. It's like you're lingering in their mind and they carry that energy with them. With the Page of Swords showing up in the reverse though, this feels like it's reserved energy as far as them being in a space of really trying to figure out what's the right time to be able to express themselves. And I do feel like it's like they are holding back a little bit and trying to kind of find that sweet spot of when the right time is. I'm going to clarify these cards. We have the heart-to-heart conversations. We've got true love. And we have very soon. So the heart-to-heart conversations showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of when it comes to this person communicating to you, anything this person is telling you or wanting to be able to reach out to communicate with you, this feels like it's coming from a genuine place. I also feel like the conversation or the discussion that is being put forward by them is coming from an honest place. I do feel like with the heart-to-heart conversations showing up over here, this does also feel like having meaningful conversations that have a lot of depth to them. I do feel like it's going to actually have the potential to change your connection. And I do feel like with the true love card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of this connection being one that does actually weigh really heavy on this person's mind, but also feel like as far as the way it's affecting you. And I feel like it's because it is also one that you recognize and this person recognizes being one that is true love. And do you feel like there is a sense of taking this connection seriously? And with the Lovers card showing up over here, this also feels like an energy of being able to take the other person seriously, recognizing them as your other person, your other half. I do feel like with the true love card showing up over here, this does feel like a connection where there is a lot. I do feel like somebody's falling. I do feel like there's a sense of falling in love. But I do also feel like there's a lot of love between the two of you. I do feel like with the very soon card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being able to have what may be a waiting period between the two of you. There may be distance or emotional distance or physical distance kind of coming to an end. And I also feel like with this Page of Swords and this energy of kind of holding back and trying to be able to really kind of get somebody right as far as being able to say the right thing or say the right thing at the right time, being something that is going to be something somebody's going to be kind of sidestepping as far as any kind of power struggle or even any kind of wanting to be able to open up to you and being able to do that freely. This feels like an energy of being able to hear from somebody in a way that allows for being able to actually have that clarity. I feel like it's going to be happening very soon with this card showing up over here. We do also feel like with this card showing up over here, this does also feel like an energy of somebody kind of gaining clarity in a way that allows them to make a decision surrounding this connection. They know what they want, and with the Lovers card showing up over here, this feels like an energy of someone who needs to make a decision. There could be a sense of being at a standstill and this person being in a space where they are ready to be able to actually make a decision, to be able to stand on a decision and move in a direction in this connection and make that choice. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Cancer.